Hello there, my name is Bruce Rain from Branker's Creations, and thank you very much for joining me today. I have a little bit of quick housekeeping to do here. I just suddenly came to the realization that while I've been doing these live chicken streams, you know, the live chicken streams, they've been recording to my local hard drive here and occupying a significant amount of space. So right at this particular moment, I'm going to delete some of these. We do not need recordings of my chicken live streams. Anyone who has not seen my chicken live streams, they are on one of my other channels, and I just broadcast chickens. Yeah, and it's there we go. Got a little bit of extra space here now. Don't like having, there we go, empty bin, and I have just cleared. Patrick Pitts is here. William D. Joe is here. Hello, Joe. Have you been up to anything interesting lately? I haven't seen a live stream from you in ages. Now, that doesn't mean you're not live streaming. It just means I haven't seen them. So, Dave is here. Hello, Dave. Sadmac356. Ryan Joffrey. Joe Williams. 648. 660. It's clearing a lot of space from this hard drive, so it's going to be a much happier computer now. My image seems like it's kind of really low frame rate. Is that happening? Is that just me, or is that what I'm broadcasting? Or is your stream dropping? Uh-oh. Don't tell me that. It might be because it's doing all this emptying trash at the moment. I think this computer will start its buffering for me to, what the hey? I'm just going to give it a moment to try and figure things out because I was doing all this. There we go. Okay, the trash is now emptied. We've now got 680 gigabytes of free space. It appears, I think it's better now. Maybe, we'll see. Kept freezing. Apples Anonymous, hello there. Buffed and low res. Okay, all right. Let's just do a few little checks here. Definitely having some technical issues. I probably need to restart the computer. Do you reckon it'll let me restart the live stream if I restart the computer? Let me have a look. What do I look here? Network. Okay, that's connected. That's good. We're all going fine. Yep. Okay. All good. Okay. Press pause and wait an hour. All right. Okay, so if anyone could just let me know, how is the stream now? It's finished doing all the stuff it was doing. In theory, I think we should be back to normal. But if it's not, seems better now. I like the sound of that. How's the rain? Not too bad at the moment. So there is a lot of rain about, but it hasn't been hitting us too much. So, well, from my super high-end HP stream. I don't know what that is. Oh, DJ Craze, hello. Retro Techie, hello. Mr. Crimstar, Taylor Buchanan. Have I missed anyone? Okay. Well, let's hope things are better now. So, as I say, I should have sorted this out before I started the stream, but ultimately what ended up happening was my hard drive, the computer that I streamed from, the hard drive got full. And I mean, like, only a few megabytes left. And of course, that's not a good idea to do that on a computer. Now, it's no longer full, it's emptied, and I'm hoping that it'll start figuring stuff out and all sorted. But what I should have done before I started streaming was emptied the trash, restarted it. But these are not things I did, so sorry about that. Now, got a few things that I want to work on today. Now, first of all, in my thumbnail of the video, I had these silly spectacles on. They are silly spectacles that I think probably my wife bought, I would say, and they illuminate. So if I press a button here, they glow. Now you can't see that glow because it's not very strong, but I'm just curious, does anyone know what sort of technology these use? Because they're not LEDs, they're just like a little tube. I mean, it's almost like a, see what I look like with that glasses on? They're almost like a, I don't know, it's sort of like a tube of gas or something like that. I'm just curious because I'm going to now stick some extra volts in them and see if we can make them go brighter. Frank S, hello there. It's working just at 640 by 480. Hey, wow. Filament LEDs, how do they work? How does a filament LED work? Joe, you tell me. You're the expert on such things. So for instance, this 3 volts, right? What if I just jammed, I don't know, 5 volts at it? Will it just go brighter or will I blow it up? LED, so it doesn't matter if I get it around the wrong. Well, let's start with 3. This is a stupid thingy. All right, okay, negative. Okay, let's try positive. Let's try. Doing nothing. I don't know if I have to do something special. Super tiny strip of LEDs on a flexible PCB. It just doesn't seem big enough for that. I have to look at it under a microscope. It's not doing anything when I just send some volts to it. Who knows? Who knows? Anyhow, we do have important things to do here, and we will move onto those in just a second. See, look at that. Works with that. All right, what's going on here? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? LED chips are tiny, can be microns across. Wow. Wow. Technology. Okay, let's just check. Oops. Oh, you stupid. Sorry, I'm very hard on myself. Very hard on myself. All right, okay, let's switch this on. And let's get an idea of what we're getting out of this. We're getting... Oh, don't be like that. Oh, okay. 39 volts? Huh. I kid you not. That can't be right. Now I get nothing. Oh, it's switched off. There we go. Switch him on. Ow! Oh, far out! I got one hell of a zap from that. How does that happen from 2 AA batteries? Son of a bitch. Oh, man. Shivers. Oh, man, noises. I feel like we don't need to do anything now. We can finish the stream. Ow. It's AC. Oh, man. Mess with me. Messing with me. Okay, let's try that. Range. Nope. Nope, it's not that one. That's not range. Nope, no. Nope. Nope. Okay, so we go to that. We go to AC. And then we'll do this without zapping ourselves, because that hurt. I do need to learn the battery. Ooh. I'm being more careful this time. I'm going to make sure I don't get my fingers involved. .5? I don't know what's going on here. 1.5 volts AC? It's messing with me, it really is. Well, whatever it is, it zapped me, and I'm not going to play with it anymore, because it's unfriendly. All right, so what we're going to do today, we are going to be working on, well, we'll see how we go. I've got a lot of things that I need to work on, and we'll just see how far we get. I need some easy wins. I'd really like some easy wins. I've had a real shocker lately. Nothing works, everything's busted. People just keep sending me broken things, and it's just frustrating. I've got just some straightforward recaps here today, so I might just work on those. But there is one thing I want to work on first, and that is a Mac Mini. But before I do that, I have to make myself some space. Excuse me. Because I have no space. Whew. All the zaps that don't kill you make you stronger. Yes, indeed. That was an unusual zap. I mean, I have been zapped many times because that's just the nature of the business. But that was a really weird feeling, that zap. It was kind of odd. Yeah, anyhow, doesn't matter. Oh, did I bring my flux? I was going to bring some flux down with me. Is that it? Yeah, I did. ASM. I ran out of ASM the other day, so I've been using all sorts of stuff. I've been using 4300, which is too smoky. I've been using 213, which is too opaque. I've been using version 3, which is good, but doesn't flux as well as some of the other ones, even though it's better for your health. Let's put that there. Let's put that there. Just going to tidy up a little bit here. This is something, again, I should have done at the beginning of the stream, but I was running out of time. I was going to stream yesterday, but like I didn't end up having breakfast until like 11 o'clock or something like that. And it's like, by the time I get down there and stream, it's just going to be too late. Now, this is for this. I still haven't had any luck with this LC575, which I worked on the last 2 live streams. I'm getting more consistency from it now. It actually chimes, but it doesn't post. So, you know, we don't get any image, screen, nothing. So it's bad. And I found some nifty little, what do you call these things? Relays, which I've installed them into my ultrasonic cleaner here, because I was using these crappy little relays before, which fuse themselves closed if they have too much power running through them. And I've got some better ones. They're good brand Panasonic ones. Jay is here. Hello there. Now, we need to give Jay a little nudge every now and again, because I believe he's very tired, and we can't have him falling asleep in the stream. So I put it on everyone to just you know, tap him on the shoulder every now and again. Jay, you still with us? You still with us, Jay? Wakey, wakey, Jay. We're doing a service. We are doing a service. Right, now, I have here a 2011 Mac Mini. It was given to me, I'm pretty sure, by someone. I don't know who. I can't remember who. Someone gave it to me. People give me minis all the time. Kai gave me a mini. Thank you very much, Kai. Kai's mini is being used for something else. Actually, my wife is now using that one. And then my builder gave me a mini, and that is now my web server. And this one, I'm pretty sure, came from one of my friends who got it. He works at an IT company, and they got given it, and it was being used as a server somewhere, I think, and they had no use for it. So he said, do you want it? Yes, thank you. Now, here's something really interesting with this. When I got this mini, what I did was I had a web server working on a different computer, and I literally took the hard drive out of that computer, dropped it into here, and booted it up. Away we went. And it worked, except the Ethernet port didn't work. And I'm like, oh, it's probably because it wasn't a proper system install. Maybe the right drivers weren't installed. Yeah, maybe it'll get fixed by a system update or something like that. Didn't fix it. Ethernet didn't work. So what I did is I used 2 little USB to Ethernet adapters and ran Ethernet off those. Slow but functional. For what I was doing on this thing, it was fine. It was just a clunky old web server. So then I then put a new computer for the web server, and so this one just sat there doing nothing. Now I have found a use for this, and so I am now in the process of getting it set up. Installed a new operating system on it. Ethernet port still doesn't work. So we're not just dealing with some sort of random system thing here. Fresh system install, Ethernet port doesn't work. So I can say that for the entire duration of this thing being in my possession, which is now several years, the Ethernet port has never worked. So there is a problem with the Ethernet port, simple as that. And I am actually going to have a crack and see if I can fix it up. This is, as I say, it's a 2011, it's an i7, 2 gigahertz, I think. You know, this isn't something you might want to use as your daily driver, but for the purposes of what I'm doing, I'm going to be running El Capitan on this, just to give you an idea. El Capitan's going to fly on this. Don't you reckon? Yeah. So, anyhow. I need a custom DIY ultrasonic cleaner in my life. Doesn't everyone? Right, now, excuse me. Use the Goldilocks flux, which is just right. I have arrived, you may begin. Well, you'll be pleased to know I haven't really done anything of interest yet. So, let's change cameras here for a minute to the top view. Hopefully this works. Yes, it does. Hello, top view. Hello. I'm a little red, aren't I? Look how magenta that is. What if we tweak that a little bit? First, pull back the saturation some, because I think it's a little bit oversaturated. And maybe a little more green, maybe. I'll punch up a bit of yellow. Yeah, that's a little better. That'll do. Will some sort of multimeter device? It may well. I should actually point out to people, my apologies to anyone who has actually bought this Kai Wheats multimeter from me. You did very well, don't get me wrong. You got an absolutely fantastic multimeter for an incredibly good price. You got so much multimeter for the price, it's extraordinary. But now, if you look in the description, you will find a discount code. Yes, sirree. If you click on the link there and then you use that discount code, I think it's BC15, 15% off the price when buying from Kai Wheats. So, Kai Wheats, KM601, fantastic multimeter. And I've got to tell you, I'm going to actually be reviewing a few more Kai Wheats products coming up. I've got a power supply, a bench power supply that I'll be doing, and quite a few other things on the way as well. There's another multimeter they have. It's a slightly smaller one. I'm going to be reviewing that one. And various other bits and pieces. There's a wire stripper. I'm going to be reviewing that. So keep an eye out. There's going to be more awesome Kai Wheats stuff coming. So anyhow, Kai Wheats, KM601 multimeter, lots of multimeter, budget price, links in the description with a discount code. If we already bought it, does that mean you will refund us the 15% we paid? Well, not if you put the percent before the 15, because that's just not how you write it. Right, now, okay, right, Mini, here we go. We're going to have to strip this thing apart. They're not that hard to do, so we're going to do that now. We'll break it down. You're going to need a Torx 8 and a Torx 6. They're the two main ones that we use. So we're going to see if we can find those. I know I've got some here. There's a TR6, there's a 6, and the 8 is a little bigger. Just to put it into perspective, it's the 15 that we use when we are doing Torx 8. There we go. These are the two we need. I'm using iFixit tools. I like them. I know you can buy the iFixit kit where you have the handle and then you feed all the lots of little ones in. I don't really like those. I like them to have actual separate screwdrivers for each one. So I bought the kit that has all the separate screwdrivers. I really don't like using ones with little socket in things. I use them for some tasks, because sometimes there might be a really weird and unusual screw or sort of, what do you call it? Driver type thing. And so rather than buy that, you just buy a kit that has all of the weird ones and just use that. Okay. Just checking the chat here. All right. Okay. So just checking the chat. There's nothing there of particular interest going on. No offense to you guys, but you guys just need to step it up, be more interesting. No, I'm only joking. I'm just being stupid. Ready and
smash that like button.
First one of the show. So top view. Here we go. Thank you to everyone for joining me. I do appreciate it. Let's start pulling this thing apart. I'm going to need something to put all the screws into because otherwise I will lose them. And we don't want to go around with a screw loose. No siree. I've got a row in here. Hopefully one row is enough for everything. There's an empty row in the middle of this container. It's just started raining. Over here, the rain has been really, really bad in Melbourne and some parts of of inland New South Wales. It's not too bad here at the moment. They were predicting quite a bit of rain today, but it's actually been quite nice, but it's just started raining now. So, all right, let's start pulling things apart. First thing we need to do is undo these guys here. is a screw here and a screw here, and these are sort of holding the fan in. Sort of. Oopsie, oh, lost the little rubber bit. Come on. How'd you come, you thing? And then you can just slip that off like that. And then you got to undo a little plug. There you go. Let's get this little son of a bitch out. Why are you so stuck in, you a-hole? What? Oh! I know what's happened. The Mini has a few instances where it has a screw literally going into a screw. So it has a screw where you remove the screw with a large screwdriver, but inside it there's actually a little barrel inside there with a thread, and a screw goes into a screw. And this is one, and I've actually ended up taking out the bottom screw and the top screw in one go. So we got to sort that. We've got to sort that. Okay, get that. Oh, anus. Okay, there we go. We got the right one. TR8? No, I want TR6. I think there might be a 7 in here too, actually. Oh, damn it. That is so on there. Come on. Yeah, got it. All right. Now we got it. Now we can put this thing back, because this shouldn't need to come off during this repair. This is the heatsink for the CPU and the GPU, and I don't think we're going to need to remove it. Okay, let's get the T8 in there and do this up rotate. Right. Stockholm, hello. Give me your rain clouds. Is it a bit dry where you are? I'll tell you what, it's just been so wet here, and it is ridiculously humid. I mean, it is so uncomfortably humid. I mean, you know, it's not even that warm. I mean, yesterday it got up to probably 27 degrees Celsius, which is, you know, in Australian terms, pretty darn mild. Yeah, it was just so uncomfortable because it was humid. The sweat just had nowhere to go. Did you reset the PRAM or NVRAM? Yes, I did, and I reset the SMC as well. Made no difference. I have followed all of the steps where people have made some recommendations and said, oh, look, if you're having this sort of problem, I have done those things. So where we are now is really last resort type territory. So in case you're sort of thinking, oh, you know, you're going too far, you can try this or you could try that. Have you tried removing the thingy from the network and then re-adding it again? Yes, I've tried that. But you also got to remember, this was a fresh system install. This was absolutely from scratch, fresh system install, and the Ethernet doesn't work. And Ethernet has never worked on this device for me, ever. It's just the one bit of design that I really hate on this. There's this little plug here. In the later models, they actually improved it. They made it so when the thing comes down, there's a thing that actually holds that, pushes that plug down. But this is the plug for the hard drive, and it just comes undone so easily. Right, now we need, I think this one needs to come out. How do you feel about that? There should be a little cover here. Should be a plastic cover just here. Never came with it, so it's not here. I think there's a screw here too. Something's bipping. I'm gonna put that one with that one. There we go. All right, so this is the board now, and it needs to come out. Now there is a way that you're meant to do it. There are two little holes here, and you're meant to sort of stick things down there. But you can kind of just slide the thing out, you know. Oh, you meant to undo that first as well. Okay, so let's get a thing. Spudger. Let's see if we can get this connector out. This is the power connector. Gives all the power to this logic board, and it's been a dick. Come on. Come on. Come on, guys. Right. And there is our logic board. Pretty, isn't it? Yes. Pretty. Okay, I'm going to put this up here because I got nowhere else to put it. How about there? Oh, jeez, that's so precarious. Never mind. Right, so what we have here, this is the Ethernet port here. I'm going to just take this plastic cover off. It's a bit of a pain in the privates, but I think I'll probably need to take this speaker off too because I've got to get these. So these are the aerial antenna cables running along here for the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth and whatnot, and they're kind of snaking along here, but they're pretty easy to sort out. So I'm going to take the speaker off. Hello, Mr. Speaker. I'm going to try and do this with removing just the minimum amount of stuff. Cute little speaker, isn't it? Just think to keep in mind when it comes to a Mini, it is essentially just like a laptop inside like a desktop case. You know, if you look at like a 2011 13-inch MacBook Pro or something like that, you know, it's almost just the same stuff, just reorganized in a different spot on the board. So, yeah, now we know why no, this one wasn't from the builder. The one from the builder is a good one. What was wrong with the one from the builder? I think the hard drive failed in it, that was all. But he wanted to use a laptop anyway. He was like, oh, I don't want to use this desktop anymore. I wanted everything on a laptop. So he got hold of a laptop from one of his employees, and that laptop was fried. It had a problem. So he brought it to me and I repaired it. And so then he started using that one, and then I just transferred I put a new drive in it and transferred all the data across, and he said, you can keep the Mini. I was like, thank you. Thank you. And I did. I kept it. But this one came from the IT department of an organization, I think, if it's the one I'm remembering. And it did work as my little staging web server for quite some time. Just had the Apple server software on it, which allowed me to just run, you know, PHP, Apache, MySQL, get a bit of a sort of lamp, except it's not Linux. Okay, I'm going to take these screws out so we can take this thing off. Come on. Come on. So yeah, I mean, look, it's worked fine using the little USB Ethernet adapters, but they're slow. They're really slow compared to normal Ethernet. And I want this. I mean, apart from anything else, I just don't like things not working. You know, you must know what I'm talking about, Joe. I mean, you got to fix stuff. Stuff just needs to be fixed. All right, there it is. Cute little board. This has already had its CPU repasted. Hopefully I won't have to stick this in the cleaner again and do it again. I really hope I don't. That's an SMC there, System Management Controller. You often get problems with that. If you're having kind of weird problems, SMC is the way to go. I need you on the stream for Sunday. Don't listen to him, Joe. You're way too valuable here in the chat. Okay, so that's the Ethernet port there. There's a lot kind of going on, but the main brains of it is this little guy here. Let's just jump across to the microscope and have a little look-see. There we go. So over here, just going to put him around the right way so you can see it. Oh wow, bit of a delay going on there. Literally when I'm making adjustments, those adjustments are happening a couple of seconds later. So you got this little chip here, and you can't see it very well, but it says Broadcom. Broadcom. Have a new product to debut. What product is that, good sir? Or is that too secret to reveal on my live stream? I've got a sneaky suspicion I know what it is, but tell me, please tell me. So this is the dual chip here, this Broadcom chip. Now, I'm not sure that this is the problem, and it could be any one of these little resistors hanging off the side of it. It could be one of these capacitors hanging off the side of it. But I'm just it's just an easy thing to just kind of remove the brains. Just get rid of this. Throw him away. Why is it delayed? That's so weird. I'm going to just unplug this camera and plug it in again. You ready? Are you ready? Unplug. Plug in. Blue SCSI related, you'll have to watch Dave's stream. Would this by any chance be a Blue SCSI that works in a PowerBook? But anyhow, let's. I will watch. Well, actually, I may not watch Dave's stream because he tends to stream when I'm still in slumberland. So, in my time zone, and that's okay. I can't expect people to always stream with me in mind. That would just be crazy. One Australian here sort of complaining about the time zone. It's like, no, I can't do that. It's just not fair. Could the Ethernet port have been damaged in the past? Well, there's not much to an Ethernet port at the end of the day. The port itself, it's a few little pieces of metal, they're not damaged. Going through to these are what's these right here. We're just a tiny bit out, but not as bad as before. Okay, so you just got these little guys here. There's really nothing much to go wrong on an Ethernet port. And if you had the little bits of metal inside them bent, you'd say, yeah, maybe that. But I'll show you down the guts of the port. You can see. It's like that. Here's all that. Bit of fluff in there, but that's all. There's nothing wrong with the port. Port's happy. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do this little process that we sometimes do where we don't do any form of diagnostics or testing or checking or anything like that. We simply remove the component and replace it. That's just how it works. Starts at 3 a.m. Aussie time. I'm not awake at that time. Right, now I'm just going to check the numbers on this thing to make sure that I'm going to replace it with the same component. One way might help to see what it reads is put a little bit of iso alcohol on it. Sometimes makes the numbers come up a bit easier. Or not. Okay, we've got, God, what's the number? I don't know. BCM 57765. I don't know which one is the product number. Well, let's have a look at another one. See if we can figure it out. This is I believe, a 2012 board, and I'm pretty sure it uses the same component. BCM 57765B OKMLMNO. It's got to be the same thing, doesn't it? Eh? It's got to be. Snapshot. God, I wonder why the light was so low. Never mind. Sorted now. I had the light turned right down. Don't like the way that chip's all banged up. Let's see if we can find a nicer looking one. This one does not look nicer. It looks worser. Which is not too bad. Got another one. How many we got? A zillion. We've got a nice round zillion. Oh crap. Rub white heatsink compound into it. That'd work, yeah, I can imagine. That will just into the little grooves there. How's this one look? Just want to get the nicest looking one, you know? No one's going to blame me for that, surely. This one ain't too bad. I'll grab this one. All right, this chip is now coming off. Broadcom. Oh, fudgeroonie. There goes the keyboard. Okay. Right. Okay. It is. Now this is a, what do I call this? QFN, is that right? QFN package, I think. We can get ourselves a little flux on here. Ooh, yeah. There we go. Yeah. Probably more flux than I needed, but hey, you know. It is 2022 after all. Needless to say, you cannot remove these without a hot air station or some form of hot air station or heating bed or something like that. You can't take a chip like this off with just a soldering iron. Not possible. These boards, they're black. These boards are incredibly good conductors of heat. So it does often take quite a while. You will need a decent amount of heat blowing onto these boards because a lot of that board just gets that heat gets sapped away by this board. The board itself becomes like a heat sink. And then eventually off he comes. Just like that. And here's a little chipperoony out of focus thing. There we go. So this is the one that we're going to put in place. It may or may not work. Do you have some video? Rick, I assume you mean fixing iMac G3. No, I'm afraid I don't. I'm really not very good on the PAL PCs. That's just not my thing. I haven't really got into that side of it much, so I'm just not much of an expert on it. So I'm not really, having said that, I'm pretty sure there are people in the chat, possibly, who have had some experience working on those. I think the very common thing with the iMac G3 is I think they end up with failed flyback transformers, and they also have a fair bit of capacitor related problems. Ow, that's hot. Burning my fingers. I have one G3 iMac. It is a snow one. It's that white, all white one. I got given it for free actually, and it works. I do actually have an Indigo as well, but it doesn't work, and that is spoken for. I'm giving that to my friend Max Button, who does jump onto this stream from time to time. And next time I catch up to give him some of his repairs back, I will be giving him this broken iMac G3, and he's going to have a stab at fixing it. And if you're thinking, why aren't you fixing it, Bruce? You fix things. Why? The answer is quite simple. I cannot be bothered. If I didn't have a working G3 iMac, I would probably try and fix it, but I have a working one. And so the one that doesn't work is like, well, I've got all these other customer things to fix. I really can't be bothered fixing that for myself. Alright, so here is the chip. And here's all ready for plonking on. Got to make sure these are all nice and clean before you put them on. It'll just make the process of putting them back onto the board much, much simpler. So I'm going to pop him over there, probably lose him, so just, you know, get ready for that. Oh, I haven't had my pills today, my goodness. I just realised I haven't had my pills. They're nothing crazy. It's not like I'm about to, I don't know, have some sort of spell or something like that, but one of them is for my acid reflux, so I'm probably going to get a little bit refluxy. Hi from Seattle, recapping a whole pile of boards. Old caps are gone, boards are ultrasonic cleaned, now cleaning up the pads. 11 boards to go. That is a lot of boards. That is a lot of boards. I wish you Godspeed on your recapping journey. Yeah, there we go. All right, so now we're taking off the one that is possibly bad, but probably not. But as I mentioned before, I am very lazy when it comes to doing proper diagnostics, so if in doubt, swap it out. And then if it doesn't work, you then do some diagnostics after that. Just leave diagnostics to the last minute. That's my idea. And I got to tell you, a lot of people don't agree with me. It frustrates people sometimes, actually. Why are you replacing it? You don't even know if it's bad. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Okay, so that one was the 213. He's okay. The 4300. I really did not like the 4300. This is the flux I'm talking about now. I will be adding this all in my review, but yeah. Now I did do some, whoops, a little bit of solder there. Got to get rid of that. I did, this is going to have to go in the cleaner again. No, it's gone. Oh dear. Oh, everyone's here. How is everyone, by the way? Screen with my Mac G3 appear with lines, but they move and change with time. Wow. Okay. I guess that's probably a GPU or something, I suppose. I mean, lines on the screen would often be a GPU, but again, I'm just not an expert. We've got to put out the call. Put out the call. People in the chat, anyone who's pretty good with the G3s. Look at all this flux. I am going to have to clean this again, which means I'm going to have to repaste the chips again. I always like to put lots and lots and lots of heatsink stuff, you know, Arctic Silver. I put heaps and heaps on there. I do it because it triggers Jay from the House of Moth. He really does not like, you know, he is so sparing when he's putting heatsink, you know, sort of thermal paste on. So I just do heaps and heaps just to drive him bananas. I'm being very careful here because there's a lot of resistors and capacitors around here. I do not want to accidentally knock one off when I remove this chip. Okay, so here's the old Broadcom thing. I'm going to put him up here. iMac with no video, so I smacked it a few times, yeah. It is a lot of flux. I haven't had a mouse replica case all due to my lack of bed adhesion. Lack of bed adhesion? Oh, okay. Look, can I tell you, when it comes to bed adhesion, one of the things that I do is I use this stuff called, oh crap, what's it called? It's this adhesive stuff. You put it on the bed, and what happens is it's not adhesive when it's cold, but when it's hot, it's super sticky and tacky. When I very first started doing 3D printing, I didn't use anything for bed adhesion. I didn't use any product or anything like that. I just used the bed. And it was all, for the most part, it was going fine. But then I had a couple of prints where the thing came away and it's like, ah, what a pain. So I thought, I'm just going to try using this stuff. And it is brilliant. It is really good. What's it called? I now just use it all the time. You only need to replace it every now and again. You put it on there, and then after, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 prints or something like that, you might then sort of, when you clean the bed, you just clean the bed with some water, and then dry it, and then you just put more of this sticky stuff down. And it's got a weird name, but I can't remember what it is. I'll think of it eventually. Right, so we've now got to clean this up. So start off by adding a little bit of leaded solder. All of the solder around here is lead-free. Whoa. All the solder here is lead-free. And so I want to bring the temperature down a little bit. Lead-free solder has a higher melting point. By adding some leaded stuff, I'm actually reducing the melting point. I'll just make it a little bit easier to clean up. Right. Okay. Now, we need some more flux. Yep. Probably don't need flux, but I'll use it anyway. And then we are going to wick this away. Wick it away. So that we end up with nice, clean pads. And then we add solder to them. And then we put the component down. Yep. This bit here, because it's such a large surface area, got to be careful you don't stick the wick to it and then accidentally leave it there. Got to be super careful with these, because needless to say, if you destroy a pad, lift one, tear it off, repairing it is no easy task with these things so small. It's not impossible, but it's a bugger. It certainly makes this job a bigger job, that's for sure. You know what I should have done, and I haven't done? Taken the bloody PRAM battery off. Who does bloody work on a computer while there's still power in it? Well, I do. Dumbass. Okay. Right, so getting this all cleaned up. One of the things you can do, oops, just get a little piece of wick, wherever it ended up. I landed on here, there it is. Little piece of wick, like that. With some tweezers, like this. And kind of move it around. Oh, I'm making a right mess of it now, aren't I? That was a dumb idea. Little wires everywhere. Okay, now I know why I don't do it that way. Okay. Swear more this stream than the entire time I've been watching him. Have I sworn? Not once. Not once. I have occasional little, you know, little. Is it really swearing? I mean, is it? I mean, is it really? I thought it was just sort of gentle wordplay. Mm-hmm. Oh, you stupid frangipani. See? That's not a swear word. Unless you don't like frangipanis. Come on, who doesn't like a frangipani? I mean, other than the fact that they just look like a tree of sticks for half the frickin' year. But they do get such lovely flowers. Oh, Dana is here. Hello, Dana. Now that we're all here, Dana is here, Jay is here, I am here, we need to talk about the fantastic new show on the internets. A great new YouTube show, unlike any you have ever seen before. Something like that. And if you haven't seen it, have a look on the interwebs, have a look on YouTube, do a search for Startup Disk is Full channel. That's right, folks, the channel is called Startup Disk is Full, and it is a tech talk show. And it features me, Jay from the House of Moth, and Dana from Dana Does Stuff, talking about tech stuff. I would appreciate if you would all have a look and maybe even subscribe if you're feeling generous. It is we've done our pilot episode. Our second episode is coming real soon. We basically just talk about general tech stuff. As you may or may not know, I am on. This is a way too big soldering thing for this. I am on the Mac Yak show, and it's tech based, but it's all Mac. And we decided, Jay and I mainly decided, you know what, we would like to do a show where we're not just pinned down to Mac stuff. What am I going to use? What am I going to use? I might try... Not that, not that, not that. I feel like I'm missing one. Is it this one? Seems a bit big. Is that one? Let's try this. We'll try this. So I'm just swapping tips on my iron at the moment to something that I'm hoping might be more suitable. First comes the worst, I might use my micro pencil, but we'll see how we go. So I need to get some solder on here. Move the camera to the AC a little bit, thank you. Move the camera to the AC. Move the camera to the AC. Move the camera to the AC. I don't know what that means. AC could mean alternating current. AC could mean air conditioner. I'm not sure. Golly gosh, he's not swearing in Australia. Yeah, you have to do startup disk is full channel. Search for startup disk is full channel. Anyhow, I'll put a link in the description. Then that will make life easier. Okay, YouTube. I'm going to do exactly what I just said. I'm going to do startup disk is full channel and see what comes up. Okay. There we go. Startup disk is full channel. In time, it will be the thing that comes up in the search first. But, you know, it's still early days, so... There we go. Got a link, Linkity-dink. Third one down, there you go. Better than fourth one down. So, yeah, anywho, check it out, see what you think. I mean, you know, if you don't like it, the next one might be better. Okay, so now I have got to get solder onto all of these little pads, which you can't see because I'm out of view. There we go. Doing this with a lot of flux makes the job much easier. Thank you for subscribing, much appreciated. It is really freaking long. Didn't mean for it to be that long. We said, oh, this show's going to be half an hour. Then we recorded it, and it was like 2 hours. We cut some stuff out, got it down to like an hour and 45 or something. And then, and I'm just like, well, do we keep cutting it? Do we just keep cutting bits? And it's like, well, where do we cut it? What do we cut out? You know. And with the benefit of hindsight, what we probably should have done is done 2 eps, broken into 2 eps. But you know what? I think it's all right. Okay, a bit of solder on that. Okay, now it's time to put the new component on. And here goes this way. Yes, I was watching. It's this way. All right. Now, when it comes to putting these things on, the surface tension of the solder generally pulls them into position. So you want to get it as close as possible, but usually the solder will actually pull these where they need to be. But we will Still be careful anyway. So I'm just going to hit this with some heat, holding this still like this. Ah. Okay, I think we're in the right spot. Let's get rid of the splunge on this. One sub made it go from 15 to 20. Yay! 20 subs. Woo! You could take a page from Last Tech Tips book, release the whole video as a single, and also segments based on each topic. Yeah, we could do that. We could definitely do that. All right. So I am going to now apply some pressure to the top of the chip while holding it in position, and apply heat again. And what that will do, it will squeeze out any excess solder. So the first part of the process was getting the chip in the right position. And now the next part is getting it actually soldered on properly. You can see all the balls coming out the side. I really don't like how this is soldered on at the moment. We are going to have a look at this from the side in a minute, because I'm worried there might be something underneath this chip which is stopping it, ow, from getting flat. Ow, hot, board hot, hot board, board hot. Okay. See how it's raised up? Not sitting flat. I don't know if, oh, you probably can't see that. Hang on, just there. On the right hand side, it just doesn't appear like that chip is sitting flat. Don't like it. I don't like it. I might have to take it off again. Just get rid of some of this excess solder from the side. Excess. I don't know. It might be okay, but there is a moment when you can't talk, is there? When was that moment? Rarely is there a moment when I can't talk. So the positioning is quite good, but I'm just really concerned about this not sitting flush. I mean, I could just go in and solder it and hope for the best. And then maybe come back if it doesn't work. I'm glad Jay's fallen asleep, because he would be giving me grief. He would just be like, oh man, those joints are terrible. And I'd be like, oh man, I know. Okay. Now we'll just get a nice close view here and see that all of these pins look soldered. Yep, there we go.
Smash that like button.
Right. Let's have a look. You know what? Doesn't look too bad. Does not look too bad at all. All right, let's clean it up and then we'll test it out. Did you get the message I left on your web form? Most probably yes. I haven't actually checked the web form in quite some time, so there's no reason for me to think that the web form doesn't work, so I'm sure I did get it. I just haven't, as I say, haven't really looked at those messages in a little while. I've been rather ridiculously busy. I'm always a busy person because I've got a full-time job, and then I also do repairs of computers part-time, and I also have a YouTube channel part-time, so I'm having to script and record and edit and stuff videos, and I also sell products online part-time. So I am someone who basically just works 7 days a week, and last week I had family over from overseas, so that meant that I had even less time than usual. So I haven't looked at the web form, I'm afraid. Feel free to ask what you want to ask here, though. Well, it's on. I think we can test this out. We'll see what happens. I'll just put this with the air conditioner. I check my emails even less, so actually that's not entirely true. One of the things that happens is that I get hundreds and hundreds of messages sent to me from all over the place, all related to lots of different things, and so I often don't get through them all. I do try, but sometimes I do miss some. I'm kind of in a position now that if I read everything that people sent me, I would have time to do absolutely nothing else. But what I would say to everyone is, if you are ever looking for technical support, the best thing to do is to get on to tinkerdifferent.com. Tinkerdifferent.com. If you're looking for recapping services, it is something that I can do. I'm at the moment just trying to get rid of the backlog, and so that I can start taking on some more, because I've got a few people saying, hey, I've got a lot of boards I want to send you, and I've sort of said, hold off just for a minute, please, because virtually everything I have here at the moment has problems other than recapping, so it just takes me a really long time to get through what I have. You noticed a big solder ball. Where did you notice that big solder ball there, Enzo? Solder ball you saw? Oh, geez, that's terrible Yoda, isn't it? Voice isn't what it used to be. It's because I'm old person. Something just fell down. Hope it's nothing crucial. 1 hour, 30-minute mark. Oh, far out. No. I'm looking here. I don't see a solder ball, so I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to go with it. Hope for the best. So anyhow, what we have done is we have replaced this IC, this little Broadcom thingy, with a new one. And what we're going to do now is we are going to plug it all in and see if it works. See if the Ethernet works with this new chip. Probably won't. I was gifted a Quadra 610 with a radius monitor. I wanted to give that, wanted to gift that to someone who will look after it. Was asking if any of your Patreons or subscribers want a freebie. Look, I'm sure we'll have no trouble. We can definitely put out the word for sure. I have a 610. I certainly don't need another, so it won't be me. But there are definitely people who are interested in getting in, and a 610 is a great one, in particular if you're looking to get into the vintage computer collecting. I think the 610 is a great computer. Some people might disagree with me, but they'd be wrong. Yeah, 610, great computer. So, yes, thank you very much for your generosity. That is much appreciated. I will put out the word. Where are you located, Joseph? You don't need to tell me the exact address or anything like that. Just a general idea of your location. Sydney. Oh, no, easy. Yep. Look, let me ask around. So thank you very much for your generosity. That's very nice of you. I will ask around, and I'll see. I'm sure there'll be Sydney peeps. All right, we're going to put this stupid thing back together again. That's not fair. That's not stupid. They go that way. That way. It's that way. It's all that way. It's all ball bearings these days. Who knows what movie that's from? This is all going to have to be cleaned, but I do need to put this all back together again in order to test it. What was wrong with this Mini? Yes, Ethernet does not work. So we replaced the thing. As you do. Replace all the things. I have to admit, having pulled this apart a few times and working on it and that, I quite like it. Quite like the way these are made. Quite fun to pull apart and put back together again. Retro Techie, who made you a mod? I do it all the time. I make Retro Techie mods of everything I can control. I just do it because it drives other people mad. Okay. Right, let's put these screws back on. Probably don't need to screw them on, maybe just a couple of them. But, you know, got to do a good job here. Proper job. Do a proper job. Have I dropped a screwdriver? It happens rather a lot at this desk. Oh, here it is. Only 9 hour, 26 minute drive for me. So I'm a member of the Australian Computer Museum Society. Oh, actually, I'm not. I haven't paid my membership, but I will. Sorry, Murray. Anyhow, through that organisation, I know quite a lot of other local collectors and whatnot. And so I'm sure I'll be able to find someone there. Whoops. Here. Here. So the Quadra 610 is the large pizza box variety. So the computers that came in the large pizza box variety were the 610, 660AV, 6100. Now there might be more, but they're the main ones that are in my head. And so they were like an LC flat pizza box thing, but much larger, much wider. And of course the big difference is with the 610, although it was an optional extra, I think it was an optional extra, you could put a CD-ROM drive in it. There was space in the front for a CD-ROM drive. You can't do that with an LC or an LC2, L3 or anything like that. So that was, that was the thing, having the ability to have a CD-ROM drive. So it had CD-ROM drive in the middle, floppy drive I think on the right, hard drive on the left, along the front. The worst thing about the 610, the thing that I don't like, is if you take the cover off and you're doing testing, pressing the power on button at the front, it's kind of like, I always hurt my finger because the hole's just a little bit too small for my finger. So when I shove my finger in there to turn it on, it's like, ow, as I'm taking it up. Right. So I think that's enough for us to actually put this back into the case. So let's get the case that I put up here rather precariously. Oops. I trust you with this supreme power. Oh, no, no, oh no, 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 no. Okay. Get in there. Get in there. Stupid. I need a bigger pair of tweezers for this. There we go. Plug in. 61, 60, okay, so 610, yeah, Centra 610, Quadra 610, 660 AV, yep. So big difference between a Centra 610 and a Quadra 610, if I'm correct. The Centris, I believe, had a 68LC040 chip, and the Quadra had an had the full 040 with a floating point unit, a math coprocessor built into it. I think that is correct, but oh God, I'm wrong so much these days, and you know, what are you gonna do? All right, okay, all right, okay. So that's in. Probably should put the fan back on, shouldn't I? What do you reckon? Huh? What are those screws for? Oh, speaker. Okay, so I didn't put the speaker back on, but that's okay. We don't need the speaker to test this part, so that's all fine. Everything's fine. It's all fine. How are you? We're fine here. It's fine here. It's all fine here. New South Wales, South Carolina. Hello, Chris Wilkinson. How are you today? I don't think I've said hello to you, so that was me saying hello to you. And we'll put that there. Now here's the problem. I'm gonna have to go upstairs to test this. I got all the setup and the screen and everything's all up there. So sorry. Right. Come on. Lots of birds here at the moment. It is springtime, so lots of bird noises. Right, so I am not going to put the Wi-Fi who's a fudge on because I don't need that. All I need to do, imagine if it doesn't work at all. How funny would that be? Oh, that'd be funny. That'd be funny. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go up and test this very, very quickly. And in the meantime, I'm going to give you some lovely, happy chook pictures. So, Joe, hello there. Morale destroyer. You're fine, Retro Techie. You'll bounce back. You'll bounce back. Okay, so I'm just going to very quick. This has got. I used to have this inside another computer. It's got little. I used to have it held up with Velcro because it didn't fit into the drive base, so I held this in place with Velcro. So it's got the Velcro dots there. So this is a 256 solid state drive. I should have a big one on this, but for the job this is doing, it actually needs quite a lot of space, more than I can have in an SSD. So I'm basically running an SSD as the system, and then I'm going to just have an external 4 terabyte drive attached to it, which is going to have all of the data on it, which I think should be fine for what I'm doing. All right, so I'm going to just jump over to the chooks. I'll be back soon. See, I can't do the back soon. I'll do the chickens, and then I will change the audio so that you can listen to the chickens as well. And I will be right back after testing this. It shouldn't take me more than about a minute. Back soon. it still doesn't work. Okay, so here's a quick little update. Fires up, boots, exactly the same as it was before. No Ethernet, so just Ethernet, no wood. Chicken pat. It's when the chickens squat down like that. They're actually expecting to be mounted by a rooster, but I pat them when they're like that because it means they're much more likely to squat down in front of you, and it makes it so much easier if you need to catch them. Because chickens are really hard to catch. My God, they can zoom around fast. So if you're trying to catch a chicken to move it or whatever, and then they just take off, but when they squat down like that, you can just pick them up nice and easily. So whenever they squat down like that, I give them a pat. And then it just means they're more likely to squat down like that in the future. So, yeah. So here's the thing. It's exactly the same symptoms as before, so I don't think we can blame that chip. I don't think that chip was the cause of it. There's something else along there. There are a whole bunch of resistors and capacitors around that. I could look at replacing those or certainly testing some of those resistors. There's also things, the little things, they're like, what are they? They're kind of like a filter type thing. And there's a couple of those I could probably look at. They're what an inductor type thing. I could probably look at replacing those and see, but I'm just not happy. I'm just not happy about it. Is it that important to have Ethernet for this? I mean, what I'm going to be doing, what I'm actually going to be squeezing through the Ethernet port is screen sharing. So the computer will be set up and it'll be probably plonked on top of my Mac Pro or something like that. It'll be connected via Ethernet, and then I will be able to just use screen sharing to make that one appear on my computer. So it's just a question of whether the screen sharing is going to be fast enough running through either Wi-Fi or running through the Ethernet plugs. No, the port's not damaged, Dana. I've already checked that. So, yeah, a bit peeved about that. But as I said, it's not surprising. I haven't had a lot of wins lately, so I mean, it would have been nice if that had just been working. You would have seen me do a victory dance, but not today. What we do have is we've got a couple of other things that we can work on. You know, I probably will change it. I'll probably replace a few more components on that Mac Mini, but I'm not sure I'll do that today because I just feel like that could be too boring for everyone. It'd be so boring that people might fall asleep, and we don't want that. 2011 has Thunderbolt to Ethernet adapter instead of USB 2 to Ethernet, and you'll have a gigabit. That's a good point. Okay. Yeah, I've got a USB adapter, but it's slow. It's slow. The Thunderbolt one might be a bit quicker. Interesting. Does Wi-Fi work? Yes, it does. Yeah, disappointed. But it was a long shot. It was a long shot that it was going to be that chip. I mean, really, most of the time when it's those things, it's not that chip. So. And of course, it's never worked, ever. I don't know what happened to it in the past. Maybe it got hit by lightning. And of course, it does seem to just keep running. I'm just going to have a look. I'm going to see what it costs to get a 2012 Mac Mini on eBay. I'm just going to jump on eBay. This is in Australia, of course. And I'm just going to have a look here. See if I can share this this thingy here. So as I do this, I'll go here to screen. Open system preference. What have I got to do? Needs permission to capture the screen. All right. Okay. There we go. Permission. Ecamm Live will not be able to record the contents of your screen until it is quit. I'm not going to quit it. Hit it and quit. Hit it and quit. All right, so Are you guys able to see my screen? What am I even sharing? Let's share Safari. Anyone want a Bosch brush? City chic, some ladies' clothing. All right, let's have a look at this. So what we're going to have a look here for is Mac Mini 2012. We want the i7 one, definitely not interested in i5. i5 can go get stuffed. So let's go i7. 191, that's an auction. Let's just go to buy it now. I only want buy it nows. Buy it now. Partner. Whoops, missed. Partner. 368. Yeah, tell him he's dreaming. K365. Wow, this does seem to be a common thread here. People are talking about close to $400 for these. I wouldn't pay that much. No way. Interesting. So what I like about the 2012 over the 2011, I have the 2011. This is the one that has the Ethernet port problem. But what I like about the 2012 is that it has USB 3. Bad prices now, yes. Yeah, so all right, let's do something that you've seen me do once or twice before on the channel. Let's do some recapping. Yeah. Got a couple of boards here to choose from. We'll see which ones we're going to go with today, shall we? Yes, indeed. Where'd I put them? I put them up here. Let me just get them right now. Yes. Got one of my least favorite DLC 2. That's actually, it's not really one of my least favorite. I'll be totally honest with you. Oh, that's broken. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. I'll try and glue that closed, actually. LC2. Lots of caps. Boom, 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 boom. It was like 13 or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 caps. 15 frickin' caps. Was that Max Walker? Where's Max Walker? I mean, where's Max Walker? What, on my shirt? No, it's not Max Walker. I mean, where was Max Walker? I need to know where Max Walker was. Max Walker's an Australian cricketer. Was an Australian cricketer. And a bit of a larrikin at that. George, thank you very much for that. Florida. Oh, my impersonation. Well, it could have been. Yes. No, it was more of just a generic announcer sort of thing. Yeah, you're thinking of like the 12th Man type impersonations. Yes. Okay, I'm just going to put some glue in this, see if I can make it whole again. Is there any glue in this? Nope. Okay. Come on. There's glue in this, I just can't get to it. Come on. There we go. Now I've made a hole. Now glue will come out. Now I can try and glue this together. Oh, wow, this is mangled. How'd that happen? Do. This is not going to hold very well. It's just too thin. Plastic's too thin on enough surface. Let's overpower some caps intentionally. I have done them a few times. I've got one here. Should we do it? They do blow up, and they pop, and they make funny noises. I've got one here that... What is it? It's a suntan, 63 volt. Oh, I can't. This thing only goes up to 30 something volts. I can't blow that up. Oh no, 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 no. This is all sticky. So sticky. Going out to dinner tonight. Going to a restaurant. Restaurant I've never been to before, so hopefully it's all right. Won't know until after. All right, so we've got a... I just mentioned, sorry, before I got sidetracked by gluing that thing together. Hey there, muscly arms. I was just wondering where the paper boy was. Call me. Son of a bitch. Okay, fudgeroni, what was that? Something fell out. Oh, wow, it was a heatsink. Okay, so what I have here is a... Anyone knows what that is? I know what it is, but I'm going to give you guys a test. If you tell me what that board is. Come on, someone must know what this is. We've got 26 people watching. Some people must know what this is. Yes, the board. You know what it is. Max is here. Hello, Max. Classic 2. Here's a computer. Apple Logic board. Come on, Eric, stop it. Stop it. All right, so for people who are playing at home, and they're not, everyone's being silly buggers at the moment. First of all, when it has a notch out like this, you pretty much know it's one of the LC range. So they're going to be an LC, LC2, LC3, LC3 Plus, LC475, Quadra 605, which is just an LC475. So we know it's one of those. Then has a 68040 CPU on it, great big grey flat ceramic thing here. So it's not an 030, which basically rules out, well, it's not an 020 or an 030, so that rules out the LC, LC2, LC3, LC3 Plus, which leaves us with LC475 or Quadra 605. Now the way you tell those two apart is the LC has a 68LC 040 CPU on it. And while you guys probably can't read the little writing, I can. And I don't see any LC there at all. It just says 68040. Which means this has a floating point unit in it, which means this is a Quadra 605. Or it could be a 475 and someone's done a switcheroo on the CPU. It had this heatsink stuck on it, which I'll have to restuck afterwards. I I'll need to get some adhesive heatsink material, which you can do. I think I might even have some floating around here somewhere. It comes in a little tube. And you just put it on and you stick it on and it dries and it sticks it on. The fact that this has a heatsink on it and the standard LC475 did not have a heatsink on it makes me think this is probably a Quadra 605 and the heatsink was on it because it is the souped up chip. Dave got it right like 5 minutes ago. Sorry, Dave, missed it. I mean, you know. Good on you, Dave. You get the thumbs up for today. Right, okay, so this one needs recapping. Thankfully, this one's a pretty straightforward process. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I know you weren't trying very hard, Eric. You know, Eric, I popped in very, very quickly to your live stream the other day. When was it? Yesterday, I think, with you programming. I think it was a TI-99 or something like that. I sat there and watched it for a little while, and you didn't say a single word. So I figured you must have been very, very deep in concentration at that time. I hope you managed to program what you were hoping to program, and it's all programmed and everything's fine. Silent stream and I have COVID. Oh, that's no good. I had that a little while ago. And it wasn't too bad. It was unpleasant, but nothing too bad. Basically just had a cough. Had a sore throat and a cough for a couple of weeks. Good 2 weeks, I'd say. Lost my sense of smell for about 3 days. The loss of sense of smell was the thing that kind of made me think I had COVID, and I went and did a test, and sure enough, yeah. Anyhow. Right, so let's recap this sucker. We'll do that one as well, but this one's easier. If I get bored partway through, I mean, in this one I'll get done quite quickly. First thing we've got to do is we have to eradicate this board. Eradicate the caps on this board. So I'm going to have to do some mucking around here with the microscope camera because it has done its little trick where it switches itself off. It's because it's a micro USB connector and it's not on very well, and micro USB sucks. There we go. Now we can go to scope view. Eric, did you get the program working the way you wanted there on that TI-99 there, Eric? Like to see a nice little bit of spaghetti basic every now and again. For those who didn't necessarily grow up programming in BASIC, one of the things they used to do with it in the olden days was use line numbers and go tos and go subs and stuff like that. And yeah, so it was called spaghetti code because it was basically if you were to draw a line from here to there and then back to here, it would just look like spaghetti. Working through a book of games, tweaking it a bit, awesome. I have a couple of game books. I have an Apple IIe programming game book, and I have, I think, 2, maybe even 3 VZ 200/300 books of games where you bought a book that had lines of code in it, and you would just type them in to make the game. Yeah, it was good. It's good fun. Good way to learn programming as well, because as you're typing the stuff in, you're kind of taking it in. What does this line do? What does that line do? VZ200, VZ300, they're computers that were sold out here in Australia under the brand of Dick Smith Electronics. Their catchphrase was the Electronic Dick. So Dick Smith was a sort of an entrepreneur in the 80s and set up this electronics store. And they were basically just a laser technology. They were a laser 200 and a laser 300 sold as a VZ200 and VZ300. Vladimir, hello. It threatened to snow, going to be in the 70s Fahrenheit this weekend. I imagine that is cold. I wouldn't be able to tell you though, unfortunately. I am not very good with the switcheroonies of the Celsiuses and Fahrenheits. All right, let's whip some caps off. I mean, come on. This is Brankus. It's cap time. I've got a couple of 4716s here. And I'm going to tell you what they smell like. Because, you know, the smell of these caps tells you a lot. Not too bad. Seriously, not too bad. It already doesn't look too bad at all. It could be odd. I was looking on Facebook the other day, and someone was asking questions about a computer, a vintage computer, and then someone replied, "You need to recap that computer." And the person who did the post got quite defensive about it. This was on Apple Macintosh Enthusiast, I think, something like that. He was like, you know, stop with your fear-mongering, that sort of thing. And it's interesting because I do feel with these sorts of things, you do need to be tactful. S. Jones, hello there. I haven't got the time up. I should have the time up. Hang on, because people can see what time it is in my part of the world. There you go. So although that person who was saying this board will need recapping, board and power supply will need recapping, he's not actually wrong. That is definitely very true. But when someone posts asking for some advice on something, and you completely ignore that advice and just say it needs recapping, I feel like that kind of lacks a little bit of tact. You know what I mean? I feel like you need to be tactful with these things. It's like they have some questions, answer those questions, but then maybe just politely say, by the way, it's very common for these computers to have leaky capacitors on them, so I'd recommend getting those caps replaced as soon as possible. But to just completely and totally ignore what the person was asking and then just say, you need to recap this right away, it lacks some tact, in my opinion. So just be interested to know what you guys think. I mean, how would you feel if you were posting something about a new acquisition and asking some questions about it and then just get someone say it needs to be recapped? How would you feel about that? Just curious. Just curious. Eric Sedge is saying, address their question first, then teach them to battery and recap. I think he's probably right. Incidentally, if anyone is wondering where this whole learn to battery came from, it came from, I think it was one of Steve's streams. Steve Mac 84 TV, Mac 84. I'm pretty sure it was one of his streams where he'd been talking about batteries, and it might have been mine, I can't remember, it's such a long time ago, but we talk about batteries and I think possibly battery leakage or something like that. And then just kind of out of nowhere, someone we didn't know just sort of left a comment in the video saying learn to battery. And ever since, that's become part of our vernacular. Learn to battery. Oh, jeez, did you hear that? Far out. That was a real whopper, that one was. You could see it going, it was bubbling up, but it really went... Ay, caramba. There we go. Wow, someone's... Oh, there, yeah. Okay, I don't think this is the original CPU because I'm just looking here. Someone has hacked the shit out of this CPU holder. It is, like, really minced up. So I'd say that this CPU was replaced by someone. So it is probably just a 475 where they've done a CPU swap on it. Wow, look at it. Really minced it up. Now, I've got this stupid little guy here. Look at him. Look at him. Look how stupid he is. Look at this stupid capacitor. Look at him. Right in the middle of a sea of plastic. Look at it. Stupid little thing. Plastic. 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 And then we've got this stupid little CPU in there. Okay. Did that charge or have charge or pop because of the heat? It popped because of the heat. Really, a capacitor should be sealed. So these older ones, they often have lost their seal. So, but with this one here, it's just, it heated very fast. There was nowhere for those gases to escape, and so then it popped open. So it was, I think, this one. And you'll see that it's just, it popped out the side there. You can see this rubber. No, you can't. There you go. See this rubber here? So it just forced the gases out through this little hole. It went. If we open one of these up, I did this on one of my. I did this on my first recapping video, which I must redo. It's so old now, but when you you see in here. You may or may not see if I ever get this stupid thing out. Get out, you thing. With your thing. There we go. Okay, rubber's gone. We have a look inside here. You'll see it is just a coiled up paper. It's basically a little thin strip of paper, and it's wrapped up, and then it has a layer of like metal in between the paper. And the paper is doused in electrolyte. And yeah, essentially what happens when these go old is that electrolyte dries out. And then they stop being good. They start being bad caps. When caps go bad. Anyhow, I'm sick of playing with that now. I've got to try and find a way to get this stupid cap out without melting everything. Shall we try taking it off without the hot air station? I've done it before. I can do it again. Oh, wrong tip. That's my stupid working on little computers tip. I need my working on big computers tip. Pardon me. Recapping is boring, really. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I try and spice it up, eh? I do my little dances and things. Some flux and a small iron tip. Shouldn't clip in case the caps are still wet. I generally don't clip because I just think it's too risky. It's too risky. You can end up doing damage. I don't cut. I don't yank. I don't twist. A lot of people do. That's up to them. They can do it. I don't. Okay, just putting some fresh solder on here before I remove it. Just like to put the good stuff on, and then I'll take it away. We're going to use some solder wick here to try and get rid of as much of this solder as possible. Yeah. And then we'll do the same on this side. Yeah. And then I'm going to try and lift it up a bit as I'm doing this. Lift it up. There we go. Gone. He's off. And I still, with my wick, managed to melt the plastic a little bit. You'll see just here, a little bit of melting just there. But that's easily snipped off. No one will know. There we go. Right, so we managed to get that off without a hot air station. It's not the prettiest, but it worked. Cut the caps of the plastic base. Yes, I've seen that done a few times. I don't do it that way, but that's okay. Everyone's allowed to do it their own way. Just going to put some wick on these old pads, and then some flux on these old pads. Going to add some solder, and then clean them up, and then we'll put new caps on. Now these ones really aren't that dirty, so feeling pretty good about it. I have no idea if this computer worked before. I haven't looked at the job ticket. Well, that's not true. I have looked at the job ticket. Sorry, Joe, I haven't sent you the thing yet. I have looked at the job ticket, but I didn't actually put the information in from the customer yet. I've just identified the board, got some photos in there so it doesn't get lost. I can go back and find out what the customer said about it. This is from a customer called John, who has sent me lots of boards. Lots of boards. I've actually got a 2CI from him at the moment that's got battery damage, which I am hoping to fix, but I have not as yet. I don't like to see any 2CI go by the wayside. 2CI is just too good. I love the 2CI. Anyone else out here like the 2CI? In fact, I'd like to play with the 2CI this afternoon after I finish streaming. I won't. I always say I will, but I don't. I always end up doing something else. I've got a lot of work to do for Tinker Different. If I mentioned Tinker Different today, Tinker Different, what a fantastic online community it is. We have got some fantastic things coming up. We have got a YouTube stream coming up in the not too distant future. We have got a competition coming up. And we have also got a new board coming up. So we are going to be doing nominations and voting for members of the Tinker Different board. And I would like to put out to some of the people in this chat here that we are looking for people. We are looking for people who want to come onto the board. We don't want to be in a situation where it's just always the same board. We've actually put rules in place that stop us from actually being able to do that anyway. We have a limited amount of terms that we can fulfill. So anyone here who is a Tinker Different fan and thinks they might be able to contribute, we are looking for people to put their hat in the ring to become a member of the board. Yes, looking at some of you guys here in the chat, I expect some of you people to have a good old think about it. So, yeah. So anyhow, so that means I probably won't be the president again. I don't think anyone was particularly happy with my presidency in the first place. It was, the way I consider it at the time, it was, I think, a good strategic move, because at the time I did it, I was probably the person with the most YouTube subscribers. So it was an opportunity for me to utilize my profile to try and get people to sign up to Tinker Different. Say, hey, I'm Bruce from Brankus Creations. I'm the president of Tinker Different. Please jump on and have a look. So it allowed me to give it some exposure. And I think for that purpose, it was probably a good strategic thing. But, do I look like a president to you? I mean, really? I'll keep doing it if people want me to do it, but I don't think they're going to want me to do it. They're going to be like, that guy was useless. I'm experienced in the PC world. Doesn't matter. I shall throw my hat in the ring for president. That is good. Too much on my plate to be a TD board member, to be honest. Well, you just have to ditch some of the stuff. That's the only thing. You just have to have priorities, don't you, Joe? I mean, really. I think you have to just make sure that Tinker Different is just a higher priority. That's the most important thing, really. I know you can't see this. I can't move the board around. All right. So I think that's it. They're all cleaned. Again, this is a really easy one, the LC475. Oh, shivers. I missed two. There are two down here. Look at them. Look at these little bastards hiding here. Hiding in a sea of plastic. Piffle. I elected myself as dictator. Good on you, Drake. Drake, we do expect you to put your hat in the ring. Drake is he's a moderator on Tinker Different, and he is very active, and he's very good. and I would be very disappointed if he doesn't put his hat in the ring for the Tinker Different board. I already know that we have at least one, possibly more members of the board that don't want to do it anymore, which is fine. No criticisms to anyone. I mean, you know, it takes time. We're having to deal with stuff. Let's just say we've had to deal with some stuff. And I don't really blame folks for maybe saying it's not for me. Dealing with people, basically, is a challenge sometimes. I got a super chat. Money for wine. Thank you very much. I might even need to order some wine today. We'll have to see. I've got, I think, one full bottle in the fridge. I'm going out to dinner, actually, so I'll probably end up having to buy a bottle of wine at the restaurant because I don't think it's BYO. You guys have that over there as well, BYO, don't you? Bring your own wine. To be honest, I don't particularly like restaurants that don't have BYO, but because they just charge so much for wine. It's a rort. I'm probably going to destroy these pads, I'm just saying. But I didn't. Happy, happy joy. Oi, oi. That came off. All right, that sucked. Actually, white wine for me, not red wine. I much prefer white wine. I'm a big white wine fan. I like to drink white wine. But it's not the same. You can't do the song that way, can you? White wine. Stay close to me. Uncapping fee, but it's up to the restaurant. Yeah, they do that sometimes here too. They call it corkage. That's what they refer to it. So some of them just charge a flat fee for corkage. Some of them charge a fee per head of people at the table. Some of them charge a fee based on how many bottles you open. I would much rather pay corkage or an uncapping fee than pay the exorbitant prices that restaurants charge for alcohol. And of course, the other thing is when you have to go with what the restaurant has, you have to go with what the restaurant has. If you say, I want a Semillon Sauvignon Blanc. Sorry, we don't have one. Well, frickin' get one or let me bring my own. A-hole. Tinker Different is great. On Fridays, we Photoshop pictures of Bruce in a Speedo with Bondi on Bondi Beach. I don't have... Oh, actually, no, this is not true. I do have something Bondi Blue. I do have a G3 Blue and White. That's Bondi Blue. That's all I have, though. I don't have an original iMac. I don't go to Bondi very often at all. It's not really my kind of place. I'm not a big beachy person. I do go there sometimes, you know, with friends, because there are restaurants and stuff there. And so I've been to Bondi a few times, you know, with friends, with social gathering, and hang out in the restaurants and stuff. It's quite cosmopolitan over there. Where are my caps? SMT Tantalums. That's my caps. G3 Blue and White isn't Bondi, it's Blueberry. I disagree. It's the same colour as the first G3 iMac. Okay, so let's get some caps on here. I need to go get I need a recapping guide, which is underneath a whole pile of crap, I think, somewhere. Where is it? Thankfully, it's online. Anyone ever been to my website before? It's called recapamac.com.au. Recapamac.com.au. And we go here and we go to a bit of this. Look at that. You saw that? Look at this. Now selling Blue Scuzzy and Zulu Scuzzy to Australian customers. Check out our store. People know I have a store here. We've got Blue Scuzzys and we've got Zulu Scuzzys and we've got Zulu Scuzzy Mini. I've got these in stock, unfortunately, but I don't have these connectors, so I've got to buy them before I can have them on the store. They got sent to me without the connectors, unfortunately. It's a mistake. It's a mistake. But anyhow, sorry, let me just do this. It's going to change things a bit. There we go. And we've got resources, and then we can scroll down here to, this is all in chronological order, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 1993, LC475. Let's have a little clickaroony on that. LC475 and Quadra 605. LC475, which is just a Quadra 605 in a slightly different case with a network card installed. Oh, and the different CPU. Did I say that? I didn't mention the LC CPU. I need to add that. Never mind. We have two 100 microfarad 6.3, which will be up here, up there, and all the rest are 47. So that makes life pretty easy. And we'll just stick the 100s on first, and then we know anywhere there's a gap, we just put a 47. So we're going to do that now. So two 100s. Up you come, little fellers. Okay. And then let's go back to a video camera. There we go. Yeah, what have we got here? UV light. What sort of UV light did you get? I have a few different types, but this one here that I've got, they actually make this is a 10 watt one, but they actually make this in a 30 watt. As you can see it just poking into the screen here. Just me. There we go. Oh, just me. There we go. So this is my UV light. And it's, as I say, this is a 10 watt, but they do make a 30 watt version. I bought it as a 10 watt because I thought I'll try it out first, but it's good. And I think I will probably end up buying a 30 watt version of this. And it's great. And I'll show you something cool. It might not work, but we'll try it. So I've got this UV light. Now these are my glasses. My glasses have got a UV protection coating on them. So if I put UV light on them, look at that. Look at that. They do it really fast too, by the way. I mean, it's not like it used to be in the olden days where they would take forever to actually graduate into dark. I mean, when I step out, if I go for a walk outside, they just go dark almost straight away. So they take a little bit longer to go back again. I'll have to do the other one to make that the same. There we go. Now I've got my sunnies on. Yeah. So, anywho. I made one from LEDs, resistors, and hope. Oh, good on you. Look, that's a sensible idea, is to just go and make your own, because then you can kind of purpose make it, can't you? I use the lasers for quick stuff, and I use the, and then I use the big light. If I've had to cover a board in UV mask, I then put the big light and I just set it there and go away and leave it for an hour, you know. Okay, so we're just going to have a quick look here. Top view, we've got, this is the LC475. We've got two 100 microfarad capacitors that go here. Right here is the sound chip. Because this is surrounded by electrolytic capacitors, it's very common for the first symptom of a required recap being these things having no sound. If they have no sound, you know it's probably from electrolyte leaking in around this sound chip here. So you've got a sound chip, and then you've got an amplifier, which is, I think, that guy there. There's a little amplifier there that allows to do noise from the speaker. Whenever you have sound problems with these, recapping is really the first thing you want to do. If you've recapped and it still hasn't worked, there are quite a few things that can cause problems with the sound. One can be the headphone socket. The headphone socket is designed so that if something is plugged into it, sound will come out of headphone. If it's unplugged, sound will come out the speaker. Now sometimes they can get jammed in position. So the way you test this is if you plug headphones in and you're getting really good sound, the chances are it's the switch inside here, because you know that the sound is working. It's just not flipping over to the speaker when you unplug it. So that's one thing there. Then if you're getting really, really quiet sound, it could be this little amplifier down here. You might need to replace that. And sometimes it can be the sound chip itself needs replacing. You can end up getting fried by all that electrolyte leakage, and so you might have to get a new one. I actually have quite a lot of spares of these sound chips. Yeah, so there we go. There's a little bit of information just threw at everyone. They didn't ask for it. That's how I do things, man. I'm so hungry. But I have to eat not too much because I'm going out to dinner tonight. I want to be hungry for that. It's a Vietnamese restaurant I'm going to tonight, by the way. Do love a bit of Vietnamese food. Okay, just checking on the chat here, just making sure that's all ticking over nicely. There isn't anything I need to answer, and I don't think there is. I can't imagine anyone would have any questions for me with this sort of thing. I mean, I'm just recapping. I mean, I will answer questions if you throw them at me. I can tell you what this 107 is. There's 107. That's 10 with 7 zeros after it. So it's like 100 million. Is that right? 100 million picofarads. And 100 million picofarads is the same as 100 microfarads. And that's how I know that that's a 100 microfarad cap. You see the two little plus signs in the middle here? We've got the positives both facing to the center, and the stripe is the indicator of the positive. I'm going to do this around this way. I always say to people, if you've got an area like this where it's a little bit tight, a little bit tight, pretty tight, I recommend doing the easy side first and then do the difficult side after. Need some more soda. Soda. Someone asked if you had ever visited the USA. I have not. That is one country I have not been to. I have been to France. I have been to England. I've been to Scotland. I have been to New Zealand. I've been to Singapore. I think that's probably it. But I have not been to the USA. It is my intention to go because my cousin lives there. And if he is watching this, hello John. And hello to Camille as well. That's his wife. And they just visited here last week. I saw them last week, which was really good because I haven't seen them in a long time because of the travel restrictions related to COVID. So they were allowed to travel again. So they came here and we caught up and we went to the zoo and we had meals and it was a really good time. But I do want to go there. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. 9 caps. 9 banana cream pies. Welcome, John. Thank you for joining. Solder. Yes. We here in Australia are pretty good at massacring the English language. Take a great deal of pride in that. I like being able to pronounce things in a way that Never thought possible. Let's get this cap here. You know, if this computer doesn't work after recapping, I'll be fuming. The 475 should be just your straightforward, bog standard recapping. Just a reminder to everyone watching, there's a new channel on YouTube, a tech-based channel, and you will find it to be one of the most fantastic and insightful channels you've ever seen. You've got to watch it. You've got to look. You have to watch the whole episode too. There's none of this just watching 10 minutes and stopping. You've got to watch the whole thing. It's a fantastic new channel. First episode, pilot episode's up there now. More episodes coming, and it's called Startup Disk is Full. And I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's too much for me to say. It's probably the best thing on the internet. I'm sure Jay or Dana will drop a link in there for people to click on, and then they can subscribe with impunity and just feel good about themselves that they have subscribed and that they are getting on board early. Because there'll be the situation where everyone is in the future will just be saying, "Oh man, that Startup Disk is Full is just the best channel on the internet," and you'll be able to say, "Man, I was one of their first subscribers. Come on, man, don't tell me about that." I recommend visiting the Ozark Mountains about this time of year. It's a beautiful part of the country. Well, that's nice to hear. I did actually watch the TV series Ozark. I had no idea what an Ozark even was until I watched that series. And now I get this idea. It's this area where there's lots of rivers and stuff running through and all that. So yeah. I want to go to Canada as well, actually. I'd really like to go to Canada. I'll just turn up on Dan's doorstep one day. Show me around, buddy. Boop, the boop. This sucks. These are right in the middle here. Kind of down here. I don't want to burn anything. Thank you, Jay, for putting the post of that up. Just a reminder, everyone, click on that link, subscribe to the channel. You will feel good about yourself. You really will. Oh, and do watch the video as well. I don't know. It's kind of all right. No, I'm joking. It's brilliant. It's so brilliant. So essentially this show, this Startup Disk is Full, it basically came about because mainly, you know, sort of, I'd say probably Jay and I were the main thing there, where we were just talking about the idea of doing something that's more broad tech. Because we have this Mac Yak show and we talk about Mac tech and Mac politics, basically all sorts of Mac stuff. You know, the thing is that we do lots of other things as well. I'm like, well, this isn't really Mac specific stuff. I'd love to be able to sit there and do a talk about, I don't know, digital video cameras or digital still cameras or digital photography or security or security cameras or live streaming, YouTubing, all that sort of stuff. You know, there's just so many different tech things. And we literally put together a list of things that we could have on the show. And we have got enough material forever. And although you may not get it from this first show we were perhaps a little bit stiff and wooden. We're going to be doing a lot more kind of, fun and laughter. So, yeah. And whatnot. Ooh, yum. Sorry. Thank you.
Are you ready for a cup of tea?
Not yet, but soon.
How long?
I don't know. After I've tested this,
I might have one before you then.
go for it. Yeah. There are sweets up there, sweet treats, and I'm going to go and have some soon. My wife has sweet treats, little donutty, chocolatey cream things. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Right. Link to the forum with some schematics. May I post a link to the forum with some schematics? Yes, you may. Well, actually, easier said than done. If you're not a mod, you can't, so I'll have to mod you. Hang on. Hang on. YouTube. I can't do it from within this software, I'm afraid. I can only do it from YouTube. Oh wow, like I'm just watching an ad for Clean My Mac 10. Clean My Mac X. Anyone else a Clean My Mac user? If you're a Mac user, you should be a Clean My Mac user. You really should. Oh fudge. Amazing software. Amazing. Okay, just waiting for the chat to load up. Okay, all right, here we go. All right, I'm going to add moderator. There you go, Vladimir. You are now a moderator, so don't let the power go to your head. Post your little linkaroony thingy. As long as there's nothing sort of horrendous or anything like that. Schematics, you say? Posting some schematics. Schematics make life so much easier. Is there a schematic for the 575? I can't remember. I think there's one for the 475, but not about the 575. Doing a bit of recapping. Only one cap left to do. Must be time for some singing. Singing. So, okay, I think the sweet treats may end up being my lunch, you know. As I mentioned before, I'm going to a Vietnamese restaurant. And, sort of a Vietnamese fusion, I think. And I want to make sure I'm hungry for that. I'll tell you what I love about having Vietnamese in this country is the bread. Damn, they bake some nice bread. You have these Vietnamese bakeries. We've got one just up the road. Beautiful bread, and croissants and things like that. Yum, yum. that was a little bit crooked. Can't be having crooked caps on a Brankus Creations recap. It's just not acceptable. So let's see that we got all these things around the right way. Positive, positive, positive. Are you positive? Yeah, I'm positive. You positive? I'm positive. Boop, 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 boop. All right. Time for testing. Time for testing top view. 35 people watching, 32 likes. Let's see if we can get that number up.
Smash that like button.
And close that. I've got the stream open in the background. That's very distracting. Okay. I think I had a thumbs down before it went away. Oh, nice of that person to unthumbs down me. Never mind. Testing. Crap. I don't need like a power supply, aren't I? What's this? Oh God, that's that stream I did the other day. I did a really terrible stream. Nothing worked. Nothing. It was just. I just feel compelled to apologise for it. I'm going to need to get a power supply in order to test this. Oh, fudge! Frame Japan. Zoom in a little bit here. There we go. Oh, what did I just do there? I nearly banned the House of Moth. Can't be doing that. Click 3 times. Yeah, that helps. That always helps. Just always make sure if you click it, click an odd number. Right, now what am I doing? I'm looking for a power supply. I might just duck up and I'll just grab an LC3, I think. Pretty sure I've got an LC3 that works. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. I'll just grab an LC3. I'll be back in a second. Have a look at some chickens while we're doing that. Chickens. Gosh, that was a lot harder than it should have been. Okay. You got 10 seconds left. Vladimir, if you haven't posted it then, the mod status will disappear. All right, so this is an LC3. It's got missing clippy things here. It came to me like that. Oh, look at this. Have a look at what this is. Anyone recognise that? Anyone? Anyone recognise that? The illustrations on the back should give it away. Okay. Right. Okay, so We're just using this case here for testing. So we will, I don't even know what operating system is on this. Oh, yes, I do. System 7.1, I think. I'm not sure. 7.1 should work with it. I have the whole LC range now, certainly of the pizza box ones. I don't have a 575, but I have an LC, an LC2, an LC3, and an LC475. So I'm quite happy with that. And this one has a network card, so I can. This is the one that has been hosting that vintage website that I had up and running for a while. I ended up switching it off, mainly because of just logistics. I really didn't have any way of setting it properly. So this isn't an LC3, this is an LC2. Someone's lying. Oh no, it is an LC3, C3. Sorry, my mistake. No one was lying. Right, okay. And let's whip this out. I'll have to take the fan out. Come on, fan. There we go. Slide him out. Ta-da. Yeah, so that's that. Then we'll just drop in. I mean, I probably don't need to go to all these lengths. I could have just pulled this power supply out. Why didn't I just pull this power supply out? Because you're an idiot, Bruce. That's why you're an idiot. Plug this in, get a little bit of SCSI action so we can potentially boot an OS. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Got that there. I'm not going to worry about the network card. I'm going to just plug it in, see if we get a bing, and I think I've got a screen floating around here too. Yeah, we go. Yeah. Right. Let's get some power. I've got, I keep some in this little plug here. Always keep a little bit of power in there. I'm going to plug that in and see what happens. Oops. Hey, got a chim. On. VGA. See if we get a picture. No signal. And chime is a good thing. Does this one need... No, it doesn't. Does this need... Don't think this needs additional VRAM. I'm sure there's VRAM on board. Yeah, there's definitely VRAM on board for a 475. So that's something. Brrr, not getting anything on the screen. Probably needs an ultrasonic key. Almost all the time with these things, when I recap them, most of the LC range, they're usually a bit iffy after recapping. Then I just clean them and then they're all back to good. And of course, this thing does worry me. Worries me that this person did this rather bad job. Okay. Nothing happening. Let's try it again. Plug that in. That plugged in. That's plugged in. That's plugged in. That's plugged in. We're on the right source. Don't normally have this problem with these. I mean, it's very common for me to not get a chime, but monitor. It reached me, Chris. Thank you. Goodbye. Thank you for saying goodbye on 1%. Oh, hang on. PRAM battery. PRAM battery for the video for these? Does that ring a bell with anyone? That rings a bell with me. Could be wrong. Oh, not support. It says not support. So it doesn't like the video signal it's getting at the moment. Let's twiddle the bits. Oh, oh. Yeah, it's booted. it's definitely booted. We're done. We're started up. We're all good. Now that's an interesting thing. Is that the same with the 575? I have a 2CI that bings but no video. Well, let me tell you something interesting about the 2CI. The 2CI and the LC and the, I think 2SI, they have quite an obscure video signal. So you may be okay, but you've just got an issue with your you're not using the right adapter for displaying it on. I'm assuming you're displaying it, say, on a VGA. So you might find that you just need to reconfigure or use a different adapter for that. Now I have this adapter on. Yeah, here we are. I've got another adapter here. Let's try another adapter. This one here, which has been in the water, which is not good for it, but never mind. We've got 1, 2. All right, so let's go. We're going to try this now with a different adapter and see if we can get this to work. This is the adapter I generally use with the 2CI. This one here. This has 2 rows of dip switches on it. 2 rows of 8 there. And this one does allow you to do a thing called sync on green, so which is what you need for the 2CI signal. This one, the LC475, has a much better signal. Right, let's see if we can get it with this one. And then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something else after that. I've got a feeling this adapter is dead. Oh no, hang on. Not support. What do you mean not support? You used to support it. You? Being a poo-poo head. All right, let's try. I'm just going to change the dip switches on this to try and lock it into. Ooh, let's just try and lock it into VGA mode. So that's 3 and 4 dip switches, 3 and 4 on, and all the rest off. Try that. That should hopefully make this little screen happy, but no guarantees. Don't just say not support. Bastard. So just locking in. That's where it was before. I had it locked into 640 by 480 before. So what if I try it as, I don't know, 13-inch multi-mode. Is it the screen? Has the screen had a conniption? I don't know. It's hard to know. Not support. Lack of support. Okay, no, he couldn't find it. Couldn't find the bad caps for it. What were you trying to send us, just out of curiosity? I missed the lead up of the conversation, so. Do 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 do. Can I watch myself? I'm going to watch myself on live stream. There we go. No, we've got an ad here for some software. And come on. Why can't I skip it? There we go. It's going. It's going. You ready? Enjoy it. Remove moderator. Yeah, it's gone now. Oh no. There's me. Hello, me. There we go. Right. It's starting to get a bit chilly now. This air conditioner's blowing. I've got the air conditioner going at the moment. It's not actually that cold, but it's very, very humid. All right, so what to do? Why on earth would I be getting this problem? This seems weird. Seems like a weird problem. Maybe there is something wrong with this screen. But here's what I want to do. Okay, here's a few good things. It chimes, it boots, it starts up. Well, the only problem we've got at the moment is we're not getting video output. We didn't get video output without the battery in. The battery is required to get video output on the LC475. Now, I've been working on LC575, which is very similar to the 475, and I don't think I've been testing it with a battery. So I'm just going to quickly, before we call it a day, going to duck down and thank you. Thank you. I'm going to duck down and grab this 575 and see if we can work with a battery in it. So. Yum. Yum, yum, yum. Okay. This is going to get ultrasonically cleaned. I'll be doing this in a small cleaner. Actually, no, I'll do it in the big cleaner because the big cleaner hasn't had to go for a little while. So I'll heat that up and we'll clean it in the big cleaner. Just whip him out. I've got sugar in my moustache. Oh, thank you. Sorting out the sugar in my moustache. So, we'll put this one away. So the 475, basically consider that one to be recapped. Yes, we're not getting a video signal, but it just seems very weird to me. I have no reason to think that there is actually a problem with the board. I think it's more likely to be something else. And I will do further testing with that inside the house. I have other monitors, I have other ways of testing, just not down here. So, yeah. Then we get that, we get that, we get that, we get that, we get that. Right, sounds good. What was that? This is a blue SCSI, by the way, folks, if you haven't seen one. I'm sure everyone here has seen a blue SCSI, but that's a blue SCSI. SCSI emulator. What's fantastic about those is they are very inexpensive to make. And I am actually going to be doing a video soon where I can show you just how inexpensive they are to make. Oh, fudge sickle. Network card. I got so many of these network cards. They came up on eBay. There was someone selling them for a reasonable price. I just bought a whole stack of them. I mean, you know, there are so many computers that work with these little network cards that I just thought, well, you know, just grab as many as you can. Just do it. Just Nike it. One card I do not have, and I do hope to have one day. I used to have one, but I sold it because I'm an idiot. One card I do hope that I will have one day is an Apple IIe card. I don't have one, but I hope I will have one day. So, yeah. All right, let's get this little thing out. I have a sneaking suspicion that this LC575 that I've been working on for ages is going to work when I put a battery in it. And then I'm going to feel like kind of an idiot for not realizing it much earlier. This one uses that stupid 4.5 volt. Bastard. What do we do? Use your brain, Rain. What are we going to do? Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Rayovac. I don't actually pay for YouTube Premium. I just watch the ads. I'm kind of interested in ads. I know that sounds stupid, but I am actually interested in advertising in general. So, so we're going to do a little bit of tweakerooning here, and then that'll be it for me today. I think everyone's seen enough of me today. I had it here a second ago. I was going to stick more of this shit in my face. Should boot with a 3-volt battery. Yeah, it's the plug. I don't ever recall having issues with them. Not having a battery in them before, but I don't know. Where'd I put it? Here it is. Bum, 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 bum. Which one's positive and which one's negative? Anyone know? It's not labelled. And I can figure it out with a little bit of Kai Wheat's KM601 magic. Or not. Man, all these things. Okay, so that's one side's negative. Is that negative there? Is that negative? It'll be one way or the other, won't it? So it's the two outside pins. So no one know? Anyone have 575 and they can just tell me which pin is which? And I got a 50-50 chance of getting it right, don't I? Whew. I mean, negative should be, I would have thought, So hang on, can you do this with a, okay, 575 should be like, oh, I see you have a triple battery thingy, yeah, okay, So, all right, I just don't know which one is negative and which one is positive, and I need to find some way of doing that. I'll do it with a schematic, I suppose. Let's see what I can find in the way of schematics here. See, the 475 still uses that sort of battery, so it's only, if I don't have a 575 schematic, I'm stuffed. Dropbox, Mac technical files. 68K schematics. LC. Oh dear. Oh dear. I don't even have a 475. Oh, it stuffs me. Classic, Classic 2, Color Classic. Scunge. I mean, I normally look at the diodes, but I can't see the diodes. It's different. I mean, typically when you're doing the negative side, you'll find a lot more things will beep. Yeah, got a lot of things beeping here, so that makes me think that's the negative side. Yeah, it's just beeping all over the shop with that one. It's got to be. It's got to be, don't you reckon? All these beeps. It's got to be the negative side. So I'm guessing that's the negative side there. Let's change the view. Scope view. I'm guessing that this is the negative side here, and this is the positive side here. I think that's what it is. If you have the original connector, it can only go on one way, and so you're not going to get mixed up that way, but I don't have the original connector. And I make no apologies for that. Okay, so we'll say red is positive. So is that what we said? We said positive there, negative there. Pooh. Well, let's face it, it's one way or the other. Pooh. Okay, I'm going to add this. So thank you from Retro. Is it Viator? Viator? Thank you. I can't show super stickers on the screen here, so you get a description. Lemon character holding his hand in front of his mouth, grinning. Thank you for that. Much appreciated. Yes, just what you said. The one next to the gap is positive. The one next to the gap is positive. Ah, good. Thank you. Thank you. So my process of deduction was correct. So now I'm just going to connect up a little 3 battery holder thingy. I'll just change views here. Top view like that. And I will just solder this to this and this to this, which we will do now. We'll start off by getting a little bit of solder on these pins. Heat up. Stay still, you bastard. All right. All right, okay, right. Yeah. There's one soldered, and two soldered. It's good. Now, of course, you know what I need to get now. I need to get some batteries to put in this, which I don't have. I got them inside the house. They're not here. I'm going to have to go up to the house and get them. Oh, yum. Oh, God, that's good. Viator is Latin for traveller or messenger. Retro messenger. Right. I'm just going to duck up and get some AAA batteries because I don't think I have any down here. I'm looking around. So just give me a couple of minutes. No, it won't even be a couple of minutes, but because I know exactly where they are. In the meantime, you can have a look at some chooks, and I'll be right back. Got my microphone, then I have to do this. Top view. Ah, there we go. Oh, excuse me. Right. Thank you to everyone for double checking my, sort of questionable handiwork there. And we now have 4.5 volts, courtesy of three 1.5 volt batteries. We will test that here using our Kaiweets KM601 multimeter. So much multimeter at a very low price. Links in the description. Let's flip him over and we will go positive there, negative there. 4.79 volts we're getting at the moment. There is a discount code in the description if you would like to buy a KM601. I think it is BC15 and you get a 15% discount if you buy one of these beautiful multimeters. So let's keep that in mind. So let's now see if this will work with some PRAM battery action. So we'll bring up the case again. Oh, excuse me. Well, what do you know? That's my Popeye. It's not a very good Popeye, but it's still mine. Alright. Make sure I don't short these. Short them together. We don't want to do that. Alright. Alright. Let's see if we've got the side view camera. I don't even know if that camera's on. Oh, it is. I didn't switch it off. Let's get this cable that I keep all the power in. Just to make sure that's still plugged in there. Yes, it is. And the plug. And a switch on. Nice big degaussy sound going on there. Then I plug in the keyboard, just like thusly. And then we'll press the power button. 3, 2, 1. I got nothing. I've had more progress than that, so hang on, there's something not right here. Just a sec. There are lots of possible reasons why it's not working, and we will just work our way through them. Come on, we can't be going backwards. This thing I had starting up all the time. It was like, it would chime. It chimed every time. Chime. Chime. No such thing as an easy win. Not in this game. Not in this game. Alright, so let's check a few things here. Got that there, got that there. It's all fine. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oopsie. Okay. We're going to try again. I mean, is this keyboard stuff? It's always possible. I think it worked before. Why? Someone tell me why? That's so weird. Do something here. Just do that. And that. And that. GT, hello there. Lee Goodson, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Batteries are still available. I did not know that. I thought those, they are Rayovac or whatever, I thought those batteries were just impossible to come by. Now, I'm just going to do something very quickly here, because the last time I was testing this, it didn't have VRAM in it, it didn't have RAM in it, it was just the bare board. So we're going to go back to bare board, because, you know, when you're testing, that's always the way to go. Start simple, go more complex as you go. So there we go. So we got that in there. Then we got the keyboard, which we hope is still working. Plug that in, power it on. Okay, so it's switched on. So there was something wrong with one of these. I didn't have them plugged in properly or something. Okay, now we've got 4.5 volts throwing that at the PRAM sort of thing. So it's now got PRAM power. Power. So switch him on. Power. Oh, we're back to the sad Mac chime. Thought we were done with that. I said I thought we were done with that. Son of a gun. I'm never going to fix this 575. This is just going to be my nemesis. This stupid board. So stop it. This is really frustrating. You know what's frustrating about it is that I was actually getting this to chime the other day, and then now it's just doing sad make chime. It would chime, but then it wouldn't get any further. And now it's just giving me the sad make chime. You know, sometimes you just get the boards that are, you know, no chime that time. What was I going to say? So I've replaced every single RAM chip on this. So even though that's a sad Mac chime, which you would normally get when there is a RAM problem, every single RAM chip on it has been replaced. So it's not that. But there are other things associated with the RAM, but I don't have any schematics, so it's hard for me to know what's what on the board. It does make life a little bit difficult. One day Apple might release all the schematics for these, but I don't think they're going to anytime soon. Because all the secrets, other countries are still secrets. Then they'll be able to use a 68040 chip to attack us with. Is that a case of the CC needing a few hours of plug-in power before soft powering it on? You know, I've heard of people having that problem. Just leaving them switched on. I shouldn't expect that will be a problem with this one, because everything in front of me has been recapped. So, you know, So last try, and then I'm going to pack it up. At least it's talking to us, you know, when you actually I've got this communication. So the computer's trying to talk to me, saying, hey, 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 I appreciate you, but there is a problem. I like it. Smells like something's burning. Is that important? Probably not. Right. All right. Well, we've got this ready for the next one. Next time we need to do one of these, we've got a plug ready to go. I might stick some heat shrink around that or something. You know, it's always better to do the heat shrink before you solder than after it. Good lesson for everyone. All right, so quick little recap before I call it a day. I'm going to go have myself a cup of tea. I'm going to put this in here so it don't get lost. That's a 512. That there is some RAM. I don't know how much. This here is a 512k VRAM sim, and this here is a 512k VRAM sim. There are a lot of people reproducing these days, so you're all pretty good if you're wanting to get one of those. All right, so quick little recap. Let's just go and talk about the live stream today that has been. First of all, thank you to everyone for joining. We started off looking at a Mac Mini, and that Mac Mini had an Ethernet port that does not work. So what I did is, without any proper diagnostics or anything like that, I simply took the board out. I removed the main chip responsible for doing the Ethernet port and replaced it with a new one. Well, another one off another board. Made absolutely no difference. The Ethernet port still doesn't work. I don't know what I'm going to do about that next, whether I'm going to continue diagnosing it or do one of the things that Jay recommended and just get a Thunderbolt to Ethernet and just plug that in there and just run the Ethernet through Thunderbolt. I might end up just doing that if I can't be bothered. Or I might just wait and see if someone donates another bloody Mac Mini to me, because I've had 3 donated to me so far. I've also got a whole stack of iMacs. Could maybe use an iMac instead of a Mini, and then I've got to find the space for it. Don't know. Anyhow, thinking out aloud. So anyhow, that's where we got to with the Mini. Whatever happens, I've got to take it apart and put it in the cleaner because it's covered in flux now. So that's a bit of a pain, but it's got to be done. Then we moved on to an LC475 recap, and that is the board here. And he has been recapped, and we managed to get him to chime. We even managed to get him to boot, but I couldn't get a video signal out of it, and I'm not sure why. I suspect it's possibly something to do with either my screen or the adapter, but I will do some further testing with other screens and other adapters up in the house later on. But the first thing I'm going to do is ultrasonically clean this, give this a really good old clean. Got to take the CPU out for that. I don't always remove the CPU for an ultrasonic clean, but I do in some instances because it means that it can clean right into the holes. When we take this CPU out, you will notice that all these pins go into little holes. And this means that the water can get right into those holes. And anywhere where water is and sound can travel through, the ultrasonic cleaner will be doing its job. So if we take this out, we make it so that water can get right into these little holes in this socket here. There's the CPU. The holes get right in there. It means they'll be getting cleaned by the ultrasonic as well. So this is going to get ultrasonically cleaned, and then we'll test it again, see how we go. But ultimately, I'm feeling pretty good about this one. I think this one does work and it's fine, so that's great. And then last of all, we went back to the old 575 that I've done in the last 2 live streams. This one was already recapped, came to me recapped, but has a sad Mac chime. What I ended up doing was replacing all of the RAM chips. All these onboard RAM chips, every single one has been replaced. Symptoms are now exactly the same. I have to look into something else, but I don't really know because I don't have a schematic for this. So I probably have to look at some of these chips and do a search on their specs and find out if, what each one of them do. See, I've got these guys here. So that's VRAM. I'm pretty sure that's VRAM. I've got these little guys here. I don't know. I mean, don't know what these are. These, I have to look them up. And I've got this little guy here. He might have something to do with it. Who knows? So this one's a bit of a tricky one, unfortunately. I do have lots of spares of these components, so I can, if worst comes to the worst and I don't find a schematic, I can always just swap over components one at a time, testing it each time and seeing how we go. So that's a bit of a bugger. But anyhow, so that's really where we got to. Once again, thank you to everyone for joining me. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for keeping the chat alive. Thank you for the super chats. My apologies for the few little technical issues we've had. Hopefully that'll be ironed out by next time. I will be starting up the Chook stream again soon, so don't forget, that's my other channel, Bruce Rain, Bruce, R-A-Y-N-E, Bruce Rain. On that one, you will find my Chook stream. You can subscribe to that channel, and then when I live stream the Chooks, you can watch. And I generally have those Chooks streaming 24/7 for the most part. And then, of course, the most important thing you have to remember, check out the greatest new channel on the internet. Yeah. It's called Startup Disc is Full. If you're trying to find it, do a search for Startup Disc is Full channel, and it'll come up as like the third thing there. Check it out. Tech channel. More content coming soon. So thank you, everyone. Have a very good night. Thank you for keeping me company, and I will see you at the next one. Bye now.